Hello everybody and welcome back to another Speaker in the Spotlight, which is your chance to find out a little bit more about some of the speakers who are joining us in the upcoming Children's Mental Health Matters Summit, which is only round the corner. It's literally the 16th of September. So please do, if you haven't already got your free ticket, please do visit the website, which is www.childrensmentalhealthmatterssummit.co.uk, and you can find out all of the speakers, who all of the speakers are there, and you can also get your free ticket, and the link will be with this interview, so don't worry if you can't remember it. So today we are joined by Emily Nuttall. So good morning, Emily.
Good morning, Patty.
How are you doing?
Yeah, really well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm okay, thank you. Very well, thank you for asking. So I'm going to hand straight over to you, Emily, and just ask you to tell us a little bit about you as a person, not your business or that side of things, because I know that you are very, very busy. But first of all, about you as a person, you know, your likes, dislikes, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I'm a very creative person. So I play the piano, I'm playing the guitar, I love being out in nature, and I see a really beautiful therapy dog called Alfie, who is a schnauzer. So we go out for walks every week, and you know, I love just being. I'm fortunate I live right by a beach, so for me, I'm an outdoor girl, music girl, art girl, and I love Stitch from Disney. So that's kind of my go-to in life and my escapism from all the chaos and bringing out Emily.
Amazing. That sounds amazing. And just a note to say, you are over in Guernsey, aren't you? So you're not on the mainland UK.
Yeah, I'm in a gloomy Guernsey today. It's really foggy, really, really miserable. Summer's disappeared, but it's still good.
It is very gloomy here. Actually, I went in the garden and was like, why can't I see anything? So it's, yeah, I don't know. It's like, right, September now, we're just going to make the weather that slightly bit worse than you've had it all summer. So.
But it means you can snuggle up the blankets and just watch the world go by, which is lovely.
Yes. Yeah, amazing. And then so leading on to now your business, and as I said before, I know you are so busy, and I know that your business is based around basically your lived experience. So do you want to just give an overview of your business and what you do and why you do that?
Yeah. So I started a business called Motivate the Mind. It was kind of just an idea that came into my head, and then this idea of madness kind of came to life a couple of years ago. So I guess it kind of stems from the work that I do, really, because I work for my local health service in lived experience in autism, mental health, and eating disorders, and sort of areas of suicide. And from there, really, kind of other businesses and like organisations heard what I was doing for the health service of Guernsey and said, well, actually, could you come and deliver us some training and give us some insights into what you're doing at work to our like private services? And then kind of this one-off training session then led to many more. And I thought, well, actually, there's a need for it. And so I launched Motivate the Mind sort of last year. And it's about equipping. So I had an autism diagnosis really late in my journey. So I was diagnosed when I was 12. Nothing really came about it until I was diagnosed fully again in 2017, in my 20s. And so there was a need for services like mental health, eating disorder services, health services, to have this understanding of how to work with neurodiversity and those with differences and diversity. So I deliver training to adapt treatment environments and to make them more neurodiverse friendly. So that's like the sounds, the sights, the taste, the noise of those environments. And I work to adapt treatment for people with mental health and eating disorders and all of those comorbidities interlink. So we work to deliver training to improve how we engage young people and adults in support and treatment, because, you know, we've got parents and professionals coming to us going, textbooks just don't work. Sitting down with someone and staring at them for an hour just does not work if they are neurodiverse or have trauma or all these other needs, and we need new ways to engage. So I go and deliver new ways to kind of bring in therapies that are adaptable to adapt those treatments, and it's about helping them to adapt the environment, thinking about what they can bring into those environments to make those simple changes, whether it's the lighting, the sounds, you know, the type of environment that the treatment takes place in, or whether it's moving away from those environments altogether and being outside with an individual. So it's working to help those professionals and parents and carers to understand that. And it's also giving them sort of new tools to engage treatment and resources for, I guess, own personal development. So professionals want to learn more about autism, they want to learn more about mental health and eating disorders. And I try and give them my lived experience knowledge, and being a trainee counsellor now as well, you know, hopefully I can go down that road of giving that further support in that way in the future. So putting it all together, it's empowering and equipping those so that those individuals can be heard and be supported and kind of be that person that I wanted to be when I was that age a long time ago when I wasn't heard, and, you know, bring those people to life and give some hope, hopefully, and make a difference.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you know, your story is one of those inspirational stories, and I love how you've turned difficult times in your life around to be able to help other people in the way that you do, and to be able, you know, in all of the ways that you do. I think it's such an achievement when you're, you know, struggling with some of the things that you have mentioned, to be able to keep going. So yeah, it's amazing what you do. And if people wanted to find out a little bit more about you and Motivate the Mind and the things that you do, obviously your links do oh sorry, obviously your links do go with this interview, but is there a best way of getting in touch with you? So some people, like, you can contact on Facebook, some people prefer email. What would be the best way for people to connect with you if they wanted to find out a bit more?
LinkedIn is mostly my main one that I use. So, you know, I'm on there quite a lot. My email, which is cwgs.net. So that's probably the best two, because I think social media is wonderful. You know, it's wonderful for business, but I've kind of tried to put that barrier in and have a bit of a social media break. It doesn't always work, you know, but it's something for me that I've tried to do. So I tend to I still use Instagram, so that can be another one, and Facebook. You know, they're all contactable, but
Yeah,
I'm more aware of LinkedIn and my emails, because they're the ones that are still installed on my phone, unfortunately. And you know,
no,
they
that's
still
good.
pop up, which is brilliant, with the ones who contacted me. So yeah, they're my main platforms. And
So
you know,
LinkedIn or email, and that's amazing. It's amazing that you're bringing in those boundaries as well, which is really great to hear. Because yeah, we know that we can fall down those rabbit holes when we have things on our phone. So yeah, they will both be with the interview. And then just sort of changing track slightly. So you are returning to the summit. You're going to be the third time here out of 3. So you're a hardcore speaker at this event. So I just wondered what it was that drew you to the summit in the first place, and then why you've wanted to come back.
my goodness. I think the first time, I think it's such a diverse summit. You know, there's so many different topics and people and lived experience and, you know, personal experiences or businesses. And I think because it's aimed at our children and young people, you know, had I had, like, I don't know the word, like a role model or someone that had been through my experiences kind of talking to me through a summit all those years ago, that might have been a part of my journey that would have helped me a lot. And I think, you know, from my own sort of neurodiversity sharing online, I kind of get used to bringing out my lived experience in that way. And I think it allows for that connection, which is really important. And I think with a summit as well, you've got so much diversity and difference and empowering areas, and some areas I don't even know much about at all. So it really helped to enhance my learning. And I think as well, it's bringing those voices together to empower that change. And, you know, I think doing it in a virtual way as well, you know, I've sometimes I love speaking at conferences in person as well, but it can be really stressful from your identity, having to go to people all day and sit in a room full of people. Whereas a summit online, you're in your own space. You watch who, providing the technology behaves, you know, you watch through all of that way, and actually you just take it in. You know, being neurodiverse, for me, you can take it in your own time. You can share it in your own way that works for you, and there's not the pressure of people just looking at you and all of these things. I think, you know, that kind of, it builds confidence in me, I think, as well as a speaker. I think the first ever time I did the summit, I was terrified. I was like, oh my goodness, you know, how's it going to work? But now it's just really empowered me and inspired. And I think it's just hoping to kind of, I think the biggest thing out of it is making a difference. That actually, if there's something we share in our summit talks that someone can resonate with or connect with, it might then help them on their journey, whether it's a professional supporting an individual with similar experiences, parent, a carer, or even the individual themselves. And I think sometimes hearing it from that lived experience as well. So I think having lived experience in a summit is so important, because sometimes it's wonderful that we have professionals that maybe don't have lived experience, but they work in that area, you know, because they bring that professional area. But the lived experience side brings that empowerment and that connection, and that can really inspire.
Yeah, amazing. And thank you for coming back. And yeah, you're watching your journey over the past few years has been an honor, and to see that growth. And we are, you know, we do try to be as inclusive as possible. So this year, you know, with the talks, there are captions, there are transcriptions, you know, there's the ability to speed the video up, and all of those things that we've tried to get like as much as we possibly can to cater for all of those learning styles. And yeah, so hopefully people will find that beneficial. And as I say, thank you for returning. And so, sort of coming to wrap it up now, do you want to give us just a sneak peek of what your presentation is going to be covering?
Yeah, I guess in a brief overview, I think it's about opening those, you know, I'm doing my counselling training at the moment, and a big thing that I've learned is about the power of connection and open questions, and what, you know, when you look at an individual, what do you see when you look at them? So it's about understanding, you know, I think people make assumptions that when they see an individual, or they don't look autistic, they don't look like they have an eating disorder or any other kind of lived experience. It's the empowerment of open questions and just having an understanding of, you know, what do I see when I look at an individual, to like break down those judgments. And it's about understanding that masking, what is a mask, why it's worn, why people might wear it, how it can become removed, how we can support somebody to take a mask off. And then it's understanding that environment, and bringing in those creative and alternative therapies, because if you can adapt the way you engage with somebody, you can bring out the best in them. So it's about bringing that out and talking about some of those ways that those ideas can work. And it's also about then how we remove those masks. And then I guess some of my own lived experience comes into it as well. So, you know, a lot of my lived experience job involves training and development and, you know, giving those skills and services. So it's about sharing that lived experience and kind of giving those final thoughts of empowerment and hope. And I guess that deep thought of what can you change in your work, your life, the way you interact with an individual that's neurodiverse, that has mental health and eating disorders, to be the best that they can be and to empower and embrace those differences. So I guess that's it in a nutshell, and kind of allows them to be who they need to be. And, you know, because by being different, we succeed together and we unite as one.
Yeah, amazing. And what wonderful words there. That is so true. You know, as I say, the connection and collaboration and everything is how you, I believe, how you move forward in every area. So, well, thank you for joining us, and I would highly recommend coming to see Emily's presentation along as with all of the others. So yeah, please do get your ticket. And was there anything else you wanted to say just to finish, Emily, that I haven't asked, or are you happy with all of that?
I think we're pretty good. I think it's just, you know, I think for those that are maybe neurodiverse joining in, or maybe, you know, those parents or carers, you know, there's no such thing as a daft question. There's no such thing as a daft, you know, way of thinking or feeling. And, you know, it's your way, it's your way you interpret our, you know, our talks. And I think it's then not being afraid to ask those questions, and it's enjoying the experience, because actually you're going to learn a lot. You know, I'm hoping to learn a lot myself, you know, from watching all the other people, and just enjoy the experience. And I think just you know, just be you, because you're enough and you're wonderful already. So embrace who you are.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much, Emily. I will end it there because they are such lovely words to end on. So thank you so much for joining us, and join us again soon, everybody, for another speaker in the spotlight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Cassie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.